Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is definitely a game that a lot of Nintendo Switch owners are looking forward to, and when Nintendo announced that there would be another Nintendo Direct based on Smash Bros., a lot of people were interested. Now, admittedly, I'm not the biggest competitive Smash player in the world, but I'm definitely a casual player, and as a casual player, I was actually looking forward to this Nintendo Direct presentation. I wanted to see more characters that were going to be in the game. I wanted to see more modes that were going to be in the game, and I felt like that's what this Direct would bring us. So did this Direct impress? Did this Direct bring us some new characters, some new modes, and really make for an exciting time for Nintendo Switch owners? Sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's get into my Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct presentation thoughts.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! So we started off the Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct with a big bang. We got two new character announcements. One I was very excited for, one kind of impartial towards, but definitely the one I was very excited for is Ken. Now this is Ken from, of course, the Street Fighter series. It's based on Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Ken, and it looks absolutely awesome. I love Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter. Ken is obviously an echo fighter for Ryu from Street Fighter, but there's definitely enough deviations to make him sort of feel like his own individual character. He has the Fire Shoryuken. He has two final smashes. He's a bit quicker than Ryu as well. So definitely awesome to see Ken as an individual fighter, not as an assist trophy or something like that in Smash Bros. Ultimate. The next character was Incineroar from the Pokemon universe. And admittedly, I don't know much about Incineroar, but I think the character looks pretty cool. A lot of flashy pro wrestling based moves is what Incineroar will be doing in the game. And like I said, I'm not too familiar up to date with the more recent Pokemon, but I definitely think this is a good addition to the game. It's probably a character that I'll check out as I do enjoy pro wrestling and stuff. So Ken and Incineroar started out the Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct, and it was definitely a very good way to start out the Direct. Next up, they talked about Spirits Mode, which is something that had been rumored that was going to be in the game, and we finally got some information on it. But it's kind of weird how they did the information on the game, because obviously this was the single player experience, something that a lot of people were looking forward to, but the way they broke up the information was very different. So what they did initially was they basically just talked about what spirits were, and they're basically different characters from a variety of different games that you'll be able to attach to your Smash Brothers character and level them up. They all have their own different strengths and abilities that you can use to sort of level up with your characters. There's different classes of spirits as well. You acquire spirits in spirit battles, but they didn't really talk about how you would go about doing spirit battles until the end of the presentation. You can also level up and train your spirits, and they all have their own unique sort of things going on for them. But as far as unlocking the spirits go, that's where they sort of showcased it at the end of the presentation. That has this sort of top-down map that looks like an exploration thing for single player. They sort of wanted to leave it up to the viewer's interpretation on how this would work, but I think this mode looks really promising. It definitely looks like a more fleshed out thing than we saw on Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, which I think is very good. Obviously, it's not as big as Super Smash Bros. Wii's story mode is. They actually, Mr. Sakurai said they wanted to focus more on fun than the actual story of the game, but it's definitely nice to see that they are implementing some sort of story mode within the game so that there's good single player value, and there's so many different spirits to unlock and look at and stuff like that. There's a bunch of different spirits to unlock, different characters from different games, not even just Nintendo games. There's some Metal Gear in there, some Mega Man, so it's definitely going to be a really fun thing. I'm really interested to see just how many spirits are in the game. They did not give a concrete number on how many spirits were going to be featured in the game, but it's definitely something that looks very promising and sort of like a celebration of not only just, you know, Nintendo, but of video games in general. So very cool. I'm definitely very stoked on the Spirit Mode, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. They also broke down the multiplayer in Smash Bros. Obviously, multiplayer is very important. You can connect up to 4 Nintendo Switch units and play local multiplayer. And of course, there's going to be online multiplayer that's based on a bunch of different factors. There's actually 3 different factors. They got rid of the 4 fun and 4 glory modes. Now you can basically just set your preferences and things like that. And of course, it'll be based on your ranking as well, where you sort of fall into place when it goes to things like that. So I think the multiplayer looks really cool. They wanted to say, basically you should probably pick up a LAN adapter if you want to have the best connection. It's going to be sort of based on regions as well, so that you have the best connections. I really hope that the multiplayer, the online multiplayer in Smash, is just very well done. Obviously, Smash Brothers Online has been a bit of a struggle for Nintendo as time has gone on. There's definitely good matches. There's definitely matches that are just so laggy you can hardly play them, and those seem to creep up more and more. So hopefully they've done a good job on the source code of this game, but I think it definitely has potential and is something I'm looking forward to playing. There's also Elite Battles, which they didn't really get too much into detail about, but it's based on if you get to a certain level in the online multiplayer aspect of the game, you can unlock these Elite Battles. Probably something that I'll never see because I'm definitely a more casual player, but that is cool that they added in that sort of thing, a little additional thing for the higher tier characters. There's also Smash tags that you can unlock by defeating certain characters, doing certain things. You unlock more Smash tags for your character that you can use online, and you can actually turn those tags into gold in-game currency if you choose to do that as well. And of course, they're actually doing something that's sort of similar to what we saw in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with a quick messaging system, so you can assign messages to a D-pad that you use in battle and just sort of hit those up before and after the battle, so that way you can talk a little trash. And finally, yes, the Nintendo Switch voice chat app will be in Smash Brothers Ultimate. I know a lot of people absolutely love using their cell phone app to talk to other people. I'm just being facetious. I wish they would have done some in-game voice chat without using this thing, but they're just hell-bent on it. But I guess one of the cool things is that they're bringing in something called Smash World. That's going to be sort of an app that you use on your cell phone as well, that you can actually look at different gameplay clips and different, highlights of Smash Brothers stuff. That was something that's sort of still in development, so they didn't get too deep into it as far as details are concerned, but I do think that looks pretty cool. They also showcased a bunch of different assist trophies, and some of these look really cool. You have Yuri from Fatal Frame, you have Guile from Street Fighter, Dr. Wily in the Wily capsule, Akira from Virtua Fighter, Golden Sun's Isaac is in there as well. There's 59 total assist trophies right now, and I think some of them look really cool. I'm definitely curious to see all of the roster of the assist trophies. Assist trophies are cool. They obviously can't put in every character from every game in here, so I do like when they do things like that as well. They also quickly showcased a bunch of different modes in the game, like Century Smash. All-Star mode was showcased as well. Challenges mode, there's going to be all sorts of records. One thing that's pretty cool though is that the game supports 11 languages no matter which region of the game you buy, and voices and names of the characters will actually change based on which region you choose. So that was a lot of work to go into it. It's going to have Spanish voices, Japanese voices, American voices, all sorts of different things when it comes to voices in the game and voice actors. So that's going to be pretty interesting for purists of, different characters from different regions and things like that. But probably the most surprising thing about this Smash Brothers Direct was the announcement of paid DLC that will be coming between the release of the game and February of 2020. They're going to be adding in 5 new characters that are built from the ground up. They're not Echo Fighters or anything like that. These are brand new characters. If you purchase them individually, you will get 1 character, 1 stage, and a bunch of different music tracks for $5.99. There's also a Fighters Pass as well for $24.99, and everything, like I said, is scheduled to release by February of 2020. If you choose to get the Fighters Pass, you get a Rex Xenoblade Chronicles 2 costume for your Mii. They added in a bunch of new Mii costumes into the game as well, but that will be exclusive to the Fighters Pack. So definitely very interesting to see Nintendo talking about paid DLC already before the launch of the game. Mr. Sakurai said that they have not really started work on any of the DLC yet, so that's why it's going to take a bit of time. They just wanted to add in some more characters, I guess, and things like that. But you see a lot of Nintendo games, games like Mario Tennis Aces that are constantly adding in free characters. I guess if these are third-party characters, you have to factor in licensing and things as well. So it is sort of understandable, but definitely a bit of a different tone than we've seen from Nintendo. And if you actually register your copy of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before January 31st, 2019, you get a Piranha Plant as a character to play as for free, and it looks pretty cool, honestly. I like Petey Piranha when he turns into Petey Piranha. Definitely a cool character, so something that adds a little bit of incentive to pick up the game near launch. Now, as far as downsides of this presentation were concerned, I think a lot of people are going to be upset at the lack of new characters. We only got those 2 new characters. We got Incineroar and Ken. As a Ken fan, I'm definitely very stoked on that, but there were so many crazy rumors flying around that there was going to be Microsoft crossovers and things like that, potentially Banjo-Kazooie. I think some people are going to be let down by that. You have to keep in mind, though, that rumors are simply rumors. You know, they could be true, they might not be true. We've seen a lot of rumors become true. We've seen a lot of rumors not become true. So you have to keep your expectations in line. You have to pretty much know what's going on within these things, and you have to just sort of say, well, this would be cool if it happens, but if it doesn't, you know, it is what it is. So I was kind of surprised, though. Only 2 new characters were announced, Ken and Incineroar. I definitely would have liked to have seen more. I think a lot of people would have liked to have seen more, but obviously this is a huge collection of characters, a huge game in and of itself, so many different things to check out, so many different modes. The Spirits mode sounds absolutely awesome. So as a casual player, I was definitely pretty satisfied with this Nintendo Direct for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I got to learn about the modes, I got to see new characters, I got to learn about Spirits mode, and I got to learn about new assist trophies. So all in all, a pretty decent presentation, maybe a little bit too long at the 41-minute mark, but I was pretty pleasantly surprised by it. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the presentation. Were you a bit disappointed by the lack of new characters and things like that? What you think about Spirits mode and all the different game modes? And as always, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.